You.
Welcome to Do the Talk podcast. This is your podcast. At Do the Talk, we teach regular people how to invest in real estate. So if you like to learn how to invest in real estate, you have come to the right place. My name is Ahmed. My name is Ibrahim, and Ahmed is my co-host. I'm sorry tonight. So we want to make real estate investment seamless as much as possible, and that is why we come to the podcast and educate you guys as much as we can. Today, we want to talk about market challenges for real estate professionals. Ahmed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Ibrahim. Just like every Friday, we always come in here and talk about real estate. It's a place, this is a second phase, second year actually, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting, and we are happy to be coming here every time. I just want to switch Ibrahim now so that he will become my maid. That will be Ibrahim. This is the second time that I think I call myself Ibrahim one time too. So, but yeah, honestly, I am really happy back, and just like every week, we come here, we talk about real estate, we try our best to make this a norm in our society, community. Talking about invest generally, but keep in mind, we are not waiting for get rich quick scheme. No, that's not what we are talking about. We are talking about real process, real growth, real how to build real wealth. Nothing, not shortcuts. You have to be patient with. You have to work it for it to work for you. So, and we are regular guys like you, so it's a proof that it can work for anybody as long as you are committed and you are ready to do the work. So today we are going to be talking about challenges that real estate professionals are facing at the moment in our market. So we will be talking about personal experience and some feelings that we have in the market, but remember that this is general idea. It's nothing really specific to anybody. It's just what we observe in the market. So Ibrahim, as a real estate broker, you see it all, really, and as an investor, you see it all as well. Coming from helping people to buy, you buying yourself, renting out on a middle term rental, all these, what are the challenges uh, that is peculiar at to real estate agents? Let's get them one by one. That is peculiar to real estate agent and real estate professional at the moment.
Thank you for asking that question. That is a very interesting question. Thank you for asking. Before I, really talk about that, I want to um, call everyone attention to Ahmed. If you look at where he's at right now, it's not the the regular office. You can tell that he's very committed. It's not, in the city, but however, is able to join us online. It's part of the commitment that we've been talking about. So we are dedicated, and we want to make sure we always come here every Friday to educate you guys. So let me go to the topic. So concerning real estate agents, because of course there are a lot of challenges, and the entire profession is facing and feeling the 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 challenges we are facing right now. Um, as a real estate broker, I think we have a couple of challenges, and I will start by saying the first one that really is that turns the table around was COVID. Okay, um, COVID, when COVID came, nobody was prepared for that. Like the entire world wasn't prepared for that. Um, it was like a game changer because it reset everything. Of course, we've been hearing that okay, technology is coming or technology, AI, this, that, all those, evolvement or something that would evolve the whole real estate system, and we've all learned that something is coming. However, when COVID came, nobody saw that, nobody foresee that. I mean, it was just like you know a disaster. Actually, it was a disaster. So what happened? Many countries responded by lowering the interest rate, looking for a way to help the citizen and all that. So the impact of the United States lowering the interest rate to zero, almost zero, is part of the problem we are facing now because the lenders, of course, they had to lower their rate, and it was very, unprecedented, very low. Everyone jump into the market, refinance, buy properties, and it's a good thing when you benefit from that. However, there's an aftermath of something very too good to be true that happened during that time, because when real interest rate is about 2%, some people were able to get it for 1 point something percent of interest rate, so it kind of drove the price of the real estate, properties and real estate market was very hot and dangerous. Then I said dangerous because the equity and everything was unrealistic. It was pumped, and the market was so, I should also say, aggressive. Because you barely a lot of people barely have time to negotiate and all that, just because there's no room to negotiate. You know, Realistically, when you are trying to negotiate, the person who is, at the other hand, probably won't have time for you to negotiate with them, because when they look right ahead or the side of you, there are two or three individuals waiting to get the same product or to get the same house. So there was barely a room to negotiate then, just because there's no need to do that. When three people is asking for the same thing and one person is telling you, hey, I'm ready to pay more, and the other is trying to negotiate, of course, normal human response, normal, people will go for the one that is ready to pay more, just because that's a way to get extra bucks for what they trying to sell. So in real estate, it was just very pumped, and the market was very aggressive. And I remember one time, I then in 2021, I put in an offer in Avon. Believe me, we added $15,000 more than the listing price. Believe me, we lost this transaction. Like, we lost that deal just because someone else probably paid like 20 or 16 or 18 or 19,000. I'm not sure how much that person paid, but I definitely believe that person, paid more, because if a seller could reject it, a a 15,000 added amounts to the list price, it was above listing for 15 grand, and the seller still did not pick a buyer. And I learned the other person paid more, but I don't know the exact amount. So think about that. In Avon, I want at that point, Brownsburg, to get a house in Brownsburg, you have to pay 20,000 or more to get it. So if you ask me, it was very aggressive, very dangerous then, because it was just unrealistic. So what is the side effect of that? All Almost all property got some kind of appreciation. You know, Everything was just so unrealistic then. Now, because those appreciation had piled up, it's it kind of affect it's kind of it's causing a negative effect right now, not just because of that alone. Of course, I'm going to get into other reasons why, but it's one of the reasons why we are facing what we're facing right now. Now the second one is that the high interest rate. The rate was low. We benefit from, a lot of people benefited from that. It caused high inflation. However, the government, the new administration had to increase the rate to calm the inflation. It might be working in other sectors. It might be working, it barely work on real estate for some reasons. And the national builders are part of the reason why we barely see the effect on real estate. So the national builders is come together and control the price, which is instead of them to, they know it's hard for people to get property right now. They know it's hard to pay for, a house that you usually we pay like 1,800 every month. Now it has to be like maybe 24, 25. They know people will, kind of just boycott them and just go and, wait or something, or only the motivated people will buy. But what they did, instead of lowering the price of the house, cut down the equity that they forcefully, drove up. They didn't do that. What they did is, and what they are still doing is they buy down the rate. So when they buy down the rate, that way, instead of 1,800, no, sorry, instead of 25 or 2,400, it'll be like 23 or 2,200. So for some people, for some folks that are, still need a home, they have to buy, and they know what is going on in the market, that it will definitely not go down. They are forced to go with 22, 2,300. Of course, if they didn't take that, if that person does not take that, he or she will be forced to take 26, 2,700, because the normal rate is way higher than that. So, to an average person, it looks like they are doing you a favor. You know, when you see a 4.99 from the builder and, outside world, you see 7.25, the gap is about 300 and something dollars every month. So you definitely, I mean, if you need a home, you definitely would go to with the builder, just because it kind of lower your payment. So they kept doing that instead of really lowering the price, because they want to keep that high price. That way, when the rate comes down, they know the market will go crazy again, but they want to start from the high price, not, because another thing, it will affect their appraisals. That's why they have to just keep it high. Okay. Now, why all this, you know, these challenges? Why is it this so so I should say terrible, or so bad this time? It's because the US as a country, they they've been a low inventory for the past, I think, 20 or 30 years, just because investors are buying houses and are using it for business. Well, I'm not talking about people like us. I'm talking about big investors. They buy a lot of homes. Berkshire Hathaway is part of them. They bought a lot of homes and they are using it for business. So doing all that, it kind of reduces the home that are available for the normal masses. And all these big company, they are doing that because real estate, of course, we all know that is very tangible and is reliable. So we are not the only one looking at it. The big dogs are looking at it just because they know it's a good place to safeguard their asset, their resources. So because of that, they've been like over, I think the last time I checked was about 3 point something million shortage of housing, that we have in the US. And combined with high interest rate, combined with high inflated prices right now, and combined with what else again? Yeah, with those three, it kind of make it tough for people to get loan. The higher the interest rate, the lower your purchasing power.
Yep.
And the lower your purchasing power, the lower, I mean, the less likely you're gonna get a mortgage. Who is now facing the challenges? If all this, I just listed three or four stuff now. is the realtor, the appraiser, the inspector, and even the loan company. Because if a buyer cannot get a mortgage, it means, and if that person does not have the, the cash, it means that person will have to wait. Except if that person, is very skillful and is into the business of, is an investor, wholesaling and all that, creative financing and all that. But the average people don't do that. They just buy when they can. If they can't, they wait. So technically, it's taking away my potential income. Because if my buyer cannot buy, what can I do? I just have to look for someone else who can buy and try to help that person when that person is ready to buy. So it's a big challenge for real estate agents. Another one that also worsened the whole situation is the big brokerages and real estate companies are taking over. I'll give you an example. Zillow. 7, 8 years ago, people don't really focus too much on Zillow. Redfin, all these big brokerages and real estate companies, they bring technology into the game. Now buyers are able to see what they want. They are able to call those agents on Zillow and Redfin and Trulia and all that. The good side, there's a good side and a bad side to it. I must acknowledge that. So the good side to it is that now they make the transaction um, easier for those that know what they are doing. Okay, because now they have that tools in on their phone or on their computer. But those that don't know what they are doing, it can be confusing, and I should just use the word confusing because I have a. Sometimes I tell people that when you go to Zillow, when you see the monthly payment, be careful. You have to click on that payment to really see what it is because it can be deceitful. Because when you see, for example, they tell you paying $2,000. That $2,000, yes, you pay $2,000 if you get the same interest rate and if you pay 20% down. But a lot of people don't see that 20% down. They just see that number, you know. And this person probably have a plan to pay like 3.5%. So there's no way your payment will be the same when you have planned to pay 3.5% and Zillow already pre-calculate or presume that you are going to pay 20%. Of course, we know 20% is for investors. Single family, normal resident, um, sell buyer occupant properties, you don't have to pay that amount. You only pay 3.5%. In fact, if you have a good credit and this is your first home, you can pay 3% with conventional loan. So anyway, where am I getting to? I'm getting to, it looks so deceitful. People see that money, oh, this is low, okay. And sometimes they send it to you like, okay, this is what I'm gonna pay. When you tell them no, they'll say, oh, but it's in Zillow. So what am I saying? This technology kind of make it very accessible to people, which is good. However, the other side, people call the agent that register with Zillow, and those agents, some of them are not really local to you. Like somebody living in Terre Haute, but because they register with Zillow and you are here in Indianapolis, they'll try to catch up with you, and some of the time they have to also refer you to someone, one of their buddy or a colleague in Indianapolis, and so you get to meet two different people, or like, and they sometimes they miss your aspiration and what you really want, just because the real person that you thought you are connecting with, he or she has to connect you with someone else because that person is not in your locality, and at the end of the day, you know you might not get that full service that you are hoping to get. What it is, that's this, some of the thing people are reporting about this, big brokerages. So at the end of the day, it's affecting some realtors, just because if you don't pay, you don't register with Zillow, Redfin, and all those companies, it means those people that are registered with them, just because they see those houses there, and the way social media is designed, they'll tell you click on this, click on that. People click, genuinely not really understanding that, not understand that this company will call them or they will send an agent to them. They thought that Zillow owns that property, or Zillow is the one that is taking care of that property, which is false. Just because the person, does not know better that that property can be seen by any kind of agent, and can be, um, your realtor can also do the same. So because of that, it takes away some deals from, realtors, and it kind of affect the market. And um, overall, it's a lot of challenges. But how what have we been doing? What can we do to get out of this? Is, it's one of the things I'll discuss, but I'll let you talk about other challenges where the real estate professionals are facing, because of course, agents, as a broker, we are not the only one in this. Everyone is
Yep.
facing the problem. And so I'll take a pause and let you talk about what are other people are facing in this same profession. And after that, then I'll tell you what we have to do to get out of these challenges. I mean, of course, it's still, the challenge is going to be there. It's going to it will go away gradually, but there are a lot of things we can do that will help us and keep us afloat while, this challenge are still there. Ahmed, so what are other profession, or what are other things that you have heard or you are experiencing personally concerning this real estate? I don't want to call it bubble. We all know that this is not a bubble thing. It's just that um, it's different from 2008. So we're not going to see anything like crash and all that. But it is a challenge that we cannot deny. So what are the things you are seeing, and how can you advise us tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. So, there is limitation to money that is circulating, like you've explained to us. I don't want to dive into that again. So that limitation literally imposed some stringent on people that are buying houses. Like you explained to us about purchasing power. For those that doesn't know what purchasing power means, is your ability to be able to secure a loan. But it boils down to what does how what does bank think about you being able to repay them. That is what it boils down to. So if they think, okay, you will be able to comfortably pay them 2,005 a month, a loan that will allow you to be paying 2,005 or lower is what they're going to give you. If you want to buy a house that you might end up paying 30,000 or more, they are not going to approve it because your purchasing power is not enough. So that is what that means literally. And money in circulation is directly affecting that because of the interest rates that Ibrahim explained. How does that impact me in my own field as a property manager? Is if you don't buy your second house or your investment property, what will I manage? So we are seeing low inventory. So the few that are coming to market is what everybody is kind of struggling with. Like, okay, you give this house to me, and what that costs, the immediate effect of that is low quality service. Like you all know, property management is a service industry. So what that will cost is, I've seen some people that said, give me $75 flat and I will manage your property for you. Would they be able to do it at the same energy that someone that will take more than that will be able to do it? Are they looking for you to make money? Are they making their decision in your best interest? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself, right? So that challenges doesn't stop with you on Ibrahim. It goes around to every profession. I work with a lot of contractors as well. Before, when you call a contractor to come and work, what it sounds like is they are not going to come and do it right now because they have three, four people that are on their neck to get them to work for them. But right now, if you call someone today to come and check your house, they will tell you, are you available right now? We'll be coming right away. That is to tell you that not too many people are not buying houses anymore. Too many people are not working on projects anymore because of money in circulation is really limited. The purchasing power of people has have now dropped drastically. So I haven't said that. That doesn't mean that you don't buy real estate. No, it just means that you need to cut your coats according to your sizes, making sure you can afford it before you go for it. So another thing that directs us is, uh, costing with Airbnbs, short-term rent. Those guys, um, people don't travel anymore, so it affects the revenue on that hand as well. Because everybody is being conservative right now. They are trying to preserve what they have,
Yeah.
and that is kind of uh, limiting the revenue on the short-term renter. It doesn't only affect short-term renter, hospitality industry generally. Even the hotels are feeling the heat. Even the tourist points, the tourist centers, the nation are feeling the heat across the world. Pretty much, if there's any issue in real estate, it's directly or indirectly affect every other industry, like we know. So these are the challenges that it's like uh, us right now, and it is not something that we cannot navigate. Of course, what I want to point out is knowledge is key when it comes to hard time like this. When you educate yourself, those things that you see as a challenge, you be able to work around it. So securing a loan, Ibrahim mentioned going through lender. If you are buying a brand new home, it's cheaper right now, which makes it harder, for real estate agents to actually get clients. But when you are trying to buy investment property, it is one highly recommended you use real estate agent. If it is on market, if not, you buy a distressed property from wholesalers or people that are involved in doing that. So why do I go to that route? Is I want to While we are discussing the challenges that the professionals are facing, I want us know that if you educate yourself, going through loan is not the only option. There are other options out there. You know, there are other creative options out there, like seller financing, like subject to, like lease option. Lease option is the same thing as leasing to own. You can call it whatever, but it still means the same thing. So there are all these other creative way. Even investors use lease option. You just need to make sure that the house can cash flow so that you can, make your payment. So these are other creative ways you can navigate. Just few of them. Don't let me say these are all. Just few of them. The other creative way you can navigate this time. And as a property manager, one thing that I see a lot is a lot of homeowner are panicking, which they are not supposed to be, because you see the profits that we've been seeing, the appreciation that we've been seeing for the past 3-4 years now, they are not real, they are unreal, really. If you think about you buying a house in 2021 and in 2023 you already have 100,000 equity on it, it is unreal, literally. So we shouldn't acclimatize the markets to it has to be like what it used to be in the last 2 3 years. We all know last 2 3 years is unusual. Last 2 3 years they are the years of COVID, and those are unusual time. They don't regularly come around. I believe at the point of 2020, that was when it makes like a year that we've had epidemics before. So those are on East time, on usual time, and we see a lot of appreciation at that time. So this is kind of resetting back to normal appreciation that we used to see, normal interest rate. At some point in around 1980, 1990, interest rates was 18%. So what am I saying is this is not like unusual. It has happened. It has been even worse before now. So I just want to let our audience know that there are challenges accepted. There are the time and the thing that has happened in the past is now correcting itself. It is not really a challenges, in my opinion. Things are just correcting themselves. And in terms of professionals, this time is also correcting itself. So, in the sense that when the market is sweet, everybody jump into it. Now is the time to know if you are passionate about what you are doing, or you jump into it because you see your friend making some big bucks. So if you actually want to hire someone, this is the time to know if they are real or not. If your real estate agent is back in the warehouse, now you know that it's really not for passion. You know, you might want to think twice to go to someone that do it full time, which is Ibrahim. Also, property management is my bread and butter. This is what all I do. And another thing is my clients are still able to cash flow heavily right now because we are aware of multiple exit strategy. So even if you invite me to your house thinking this is going to be a long term listen, if I look at the neighborhood and everything, I might be like, you know what, let's furnish this up and do mid-time renting. I was talking to a client of mine earlier today, and she is in California, and she has a house in Indianapolis. And I was telling her, like, let's furnish this up. Insurance company are hitting on this house, so let's furnish this up. But even unfurnished, they still want to get it. We are talking with the adjuster right now, and they are going to be paying 1,000 more than a regular rent unfurnished house. So because now is when you will be able to determine the good from the bad ones, the good professional from the bad ones, right? So it is actually a good time for me because it is resetting everything, and now we are able to see a lot of movement in terms of pushing out some people, and uh, some people are holding still and being resistant by being flexible with their approach to things. You and I are talking about stuff before we get online here, and you discuss what you want to do differently. That is what people that have passion for this, that is what people that take this seriously do at times like this. So what am I getting at is this challenge. This is a challenging time for real estate professional generally, but they are not. They are just resetting the market. They are just pushing out the ones that are not really strong, the ones that doesn't really, are passionate about this, and holding still, and the ones that are really, really genuinely interested in the business are still in there doing it and killing it. So really, Ibrahim, I don't have too much, but I think the cause of it, like you mentioned, is money in circulation. There's not too many of it. And the people that have some, including you and I and everybody out there, we are holding on to it. We don't because we don't know what tomorrow holds. So everybody's being careful with their expenses, with their finances, and all that. But before I pass it back to you, Ibrahim, I'm just going to point out that educate yourself in everything that you want to do. Once you have that education, you will see that there are multiple ways to do one thing. There's no right or wrong way to do one thing. There are multiple ways. So you can do it and make it. And if that doesn't work, just change your way and keep going in the same direction. It's going to work. So, Ibrahim, I know you mentioned a lot of things that real estate are experiencing right now. And as a brokerage, I know you are going nowhere because this is pretty much, what you enjoy doing, you enjoy talking about it, you have passion for it. What are the things that other real estate professional out there can implement, starting from real estate agents across the board, real estate property manager, wholesalers, what else? Loan officer, contractors, and all that.
Sectors.
What, yeah, what are the things that we all can do at this point to make this time seamless for everyone?
Yeah, thank you. That is a very good question. Before I answer that question, permit me to say that I actually, so I helped this client to buy a home, and she's been holding the home for more than 2 years now. She has the option to sell. However, you know, she chose not to sell. And again, she got my opinion, and I told her, I don't think selling is your best option. You have to think about another strategy. And she said, I'm thinking about renting it out. What do you recommend? Before I mentioned any word, she said, I trust you. I know you're going to find me a good property manager. Actually, she said a good property manager. Then she said, somebody that can help me take care of the property. I said, yeah, you are correct. A good property manager. She said, yeah, yeah. And I wanted to say, I got you. I can get you a good property manager. But before I said that, she said, again, like before I say a word, she said, again, I trust you. I know you're going to get me a good one. I said, thank you for that. Yes, you are absolutely right. I'm going to get you a good property manager. Then she said, okay, when can I meet that person? I said, okay, when are you making your move? So she's traveling, for privacy. I'm not going to mention where, but she's traveling to another state. She's going to stay there. She's going to be living in that state. So
Okay.
it is official that she has to do that because she has to go there. So I said, trust me, I got you. Somebody's going to manage this property for you very well. So even though I haven't tell you, I'm just using the opportunity to tell you now that I already got a deal for you, because the truth is, I like to put my money where, put my mouth where my money is, or put my money where my mouth is, however you want to call it. Because when you have somebody that you know this person is dedicated, know what he's doing, passionate about what he's doing, all you have to do is keep, you know, supporting that person any angle, anywhere you can. Just like you are providing value to my business, not for anything, but because this person is, is credible and is gonna take care of whoever you refer to them. Same way, I'm more than confident that this person will get a good service from you. So I told her, trust me, just like you trust me, you will not regret it. This person is gonna take care of your property. So, and she was excited. So anyway, we'll talk about that after this. Let me divert to the main topic, which is, what are real estate professional? What are the things that we have to do at this challenging time? I know you mentioned it's not challenging, it's actually resetting. I'll take that, because at the end of the day, challenge will drive away people that are not committed, people that won't be able to weather the storm, because it's like a storm running right now. So if you can weather the storm and you are strong enough to face the challenge, then you benefit enormously after the challenge is subsided or is over.
Yep.
um but for some people, unfortunately, it will take them away because we know this is kind of unprecedented in some kind of way, just because the challenge is multi-dimension. You know, the interest rate is high, there's high inventory.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, there's low inventory. I meant there's low inventory, so the prices are still holding up. Usually, when interest rate is so high like that, and let's say there is very high inventory, a lot of houses everywhere, nobody's buying, the price will be forced to come down. Like there's no other option; it will come down. But because the interest rate is high, however, the people that really wants to buy home, they are way more than the available homes.
Yeah.
So because of that, there's no need for the price to come down dramatically. Of course, there are some locality where it's just so terrible because real estate is local. We all know that. But in general, in the US, prices won't just fall like 2008 crash and all that, just because it is a different situation then. Now, what are the things we have to do? First of all, we need to first recognize what is going on, which is people are able to look at houses online. People are able to click on agent this and that. They are able to so big brokerages and real estate companies, they put the power, they take the housing to people on their mobile. So it means if you want to benefit or cut part of those people that those big brokerages are directly taking houses to their face, if you want to be benefit from that technology, or that what do I call it, that kind of
New approach, new way of.
yeah, that kind of new approach, that kind of new style that every all these big companies are doing, you also have to get into that game of going directly into people's face, not in a rude way, not in a of course, the unprofessional way. You can go into their face and show people that yes, you are in the local area with them, you are knowledgeable, you can provide the service they are looking for, and they don't have to even go with Zillow because the agent on Zillow probably does not even live in that area. They don't even know what's going on there. It's just people register with Zillow, and Zillow just um, just set people up with all these agent, and just because it's a business for them. They get their commission and all that. So what am I saying here? You have to get into social media. You have to let people know how valuable you are. Tell people what you are doing. Show them that you are credible, especially when they meet you one on one. Let them know that they can you are reliable and they can trust you, and you are going to make sure you provide the kind of service they are looking for. So you do that on social media. Now, in real life, which is when you meet people, you have to be real. You have to be yourself. Of course, not like you're on social media, you act this way. When they see you in real life, you look totally different and you talk unprofessionally and all that. No, you have to your style. People like to see that genuineness in you. Like how you express yourself and all that. Um,
Yep.
Humility is very important when you meet people. You have to really, because first expression lasts longer than anything.
Yep.
The initial expression, when people see you, what do they perceive? You think they don't look at, I mean, they don't necessarily have to stare at you for a long time before they kind of observe you. Immediately when they see you, the mind, the way our brain works, we scan our environment. When we see something, we prejudge.
Yep.
Some people do in a terrible way, but naturally, no matter who you are, when you see something, your brain scan it through like real quick and try to see if they you have to run, you have to stay, you have to talk, or you have to tolerate that person, or you have to your brain keep scanning and trying to make sure you are safe. Because at the end of the day, we always scan subconsciously to make sure we are safe wherever we are, you know. So if you see somebody sitting down and not doing too much or not scared, and it's because the brain already tells that person you are good, you are safe. That's when you see that person like calm and sitting there. But if that brain is telling them something is going on here, you have to figure out what's going on out. You see that person looking around and turning and turning. It's the same way when you enter an office or you meet somebody, right away your brain is already scanning. Okay, what is gonna tell me? Okay, is he trying to scam me? Oh, okay, is this one of those people that want to just, So my point is, when you meet people, demonstrate that genuineness in you, demonstrate that you can provide value to them, demonstrate that you are beyond what they're looking for. For example, if somebody approach you and say, "Hey, Ahmed, I'm looking for an investment property. Um, I want to lease the property on a normal lease, just because um, I want good income, but that's the only thing I can do, or that's the only thing I'm aware of. Can you do that?" Of course, Ahmed can do that. Ahmed will say, "Yes, I can do that." However, because I know who Ahmed is, he's probably gonna say, "Let me see that property for. Let me see the potential in the house," because that person may not know if that asset, that property can generate more than just normal lease. Of course, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with normal lease, but what I'm trying to say right here is that if Ahmed can convince that person that and show that person that, yeah, you gonna get more money because this area is good, this property is nice, this is a big cash flow that you get if you can do this strategy. He or she normally they will look at the data, they'll see what you show them. If all those stuff are good enough, of course that person would like to go with you because you have showed that person that, hey, what you were trying to do at first isn't bad, but it's
Yeah.
not the best. Now you demonstrated that you know your skills, because now you acknowledge to the person that, yes, nothing is wrong with that, however I can show you a better way of doing it. And hopefully the person sign up and they are seeing the benefit, the cash flow is coming in. What do you think? Next time that person is going to refer Ahmed to someone else, just because he has demonstrated that, hey, he got it. That's his game. That's what he's doing every day. Bread and butter, like he
Yeah.
said. I'm going to use his word, bread and butter. So it's the same way with real estate agent. When I meet people, I like to see where they're at and try to see if they want to expand. Try to see if they are thinking about investment. Try to see how I can help them in circle. Not just go like, okay, you want a house, I'll get you a house. You have this, that's it. No, you need to try to see what are other things that is bothering them, that or something that they are thinking about, but they don't know if you can provide that value or that service to them.
Yeah.
So you letting them know that I like your plan. I'm gonna help you with that. However, have you been thinking about this, or do you think it's a good idea if you do this with that? Just show people that you know your skills. That is my point in summary. And if you can do that, of course, people will appreciate that, and they would like to work with you. Um, at the end of the day, everyone want to work with a professional that is knowledgeable, skillful, passionate, and dedicated. Of course, reliable as well. Because it's one thing that, and also responsive. It's one thing that, hey, you give somebody a contract and or you give them a job, they don't call you, they don't pick up their phone and all that. All this is something that might mess your professional, because at the end of the day, people don't see you as they see you as you are not there for them. Real estate, we know it involves emotion. We know it comes with anxiety, especially the first time home buyer, first time investors. Forget about even an investor. As an investor, you get scared, especially first time.
Yeah.
You'll be afraid. you know So it is the main reason why we advise you on this podcast. You have to go with people that are knowledgeable, people that are ready to provide valid and invaluable service to you. Okay. I
Absolutely.
just told you some minute ago that I told one of my clients that, hey, I know somebody's gonna manage it for you. Is your property got it? Because at the end of the day, I want that client to be comfortable, be in whatever state she is. Like I said, I'm not gonna mention the state for privacy, but whatever state she's gonna go to, I want her to, feel relaxed and know that yes, her property is safe. So of course, there's no other way. I have to recommend a property manager that I trust, that I know is gonna do the job. So by the way, if any of you guys, you have a property, you are looking for someone to manage it, someone who's gonna show you a way to make more money. We are talking about legible money, like legal money. This is not about, fraud or anything. Legal money, a way, strategy. Because of course, it sounds funny, right? But this is a real money because it's strategy. You have to put in some strategy so you can get more for your asset. You don't want to. How can you do? You spend 250,000, 190, 300, whatever thousand you spend, and you only getting $100 at the end of the month. I mean, the, the fact is, if that's what you can get, it's better than none. But I'm telling you right here that is your property will probably get you more money than that. So what you need to do is give him a call, try to set up appointments, see what you can get. It's gonna show you all the options that you have, and you pick one. That's another thing I want to let you know. Here you are free. He will guide you, show you what you got. Then you are the one that will pick. Not all this company that they have to force you and try to tell you have to do this, you have to do. No, I like that freedom of they show me, I'm informed, and I pick what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Any
Yeah.
kind of thing I'm doing,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want you to show me. You the professional. Show me and I pick what I like. So where am I getting to? I'm saying if you have a property you want to manage, you just buy a house, you don't have that time, or you've been managing it, but it's been a terrible job, like a hell for you just because you are busy, or you just don't know how to screen your tenant. All you have to do is reach out to a property manager that is doing it. Um, Concerning what I was talking about real estate, what we can do to make things good, I think provides value to your clients. Be there, as be responsive, be nice to your client. Let them see that you are providing value. Let them see that you like what you do. Let them see that you are knowledgeable. Definitely, definitely, you'll be able to weather the storm. Be consistent. Be Keep educating yourself because things change every day. You have to, if you are doing the same thing and you're not getting results, you have to try something new. I told Amir that I'm gonna try something new. I'm not gonna launch that tonight, but you guys gonna see it. I'm gonna try something new because I want to show people that this is my career. This is what I love doing. I love to extend my services to people across, Indiana. So you see the result very soon. Ahmed,
Yeah.
there's one of our audience here is Ahmed. You have a new bag, yeah, because maybe I will just say it. I'm sure it's online. It's because Ahmed is dedicated. Of course, he's in another place right now, So that's what you get when you are so determined. I'm sure Ahmed, if Ahmed, let's say something he couldn't get on the podcast, I'm sure he won't be relaxed like this. He'll probably just be, um, uncomfortable and be thinking like, oh, I have to come and talk to my audience and all that. So it's a good thing that even when you travel and you know that it's just part of him. Where I'm getting to is that when you are dedicated, you are committed to make sure that people are getting valuable information from you every week or even every day, however you are doing it, you will feel unfulfilled until you pass that message on that day that you are supposed to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he feels more delighted right there. Why is there versus if he cannot make it to the podcast? It will be so
Yeah.
I know it won't feel good. So Ahmed, thank you for really making it, even though I know it's not you are not at home right now. So we really appreciate that. I mean, what do you have to say? Because we are running out of time and it's 57 right now.
Yeah, so basically, I thank you, Ibrahim. I really appreciate all the knowledge and your guidance, your experience. This is why we need experience, just to be able to guide us, just to be able to, and for not quitting on us. If you had quit back then, you will not be here today talking to us. So for not quitting on us, thank you for saying that. Donald is asking for a mentorship class. Donald, both me and Ibrahim, we are very dedicated to our businesses right now, and mentorship is coming. I can promise you that, but not right now. Okay. I know you want it, but yeah, it's just not right now. We have too much on our hand. If you've been a good follower before now, and you understand that if both of us are doing things, we want to do it to the fullest. We want to do it all the way to the end. We don't want to give you a flash of something and then run away when we get busy. So we want
Mhm.
to make sure that we have every resources that we can deploy to you, and we want to make sure that we are at the point that we already get our business up to a certain point that we can now let other people run it for us, not and give you full attention. Because I believe mentorship, you need to spend time with your mentees. You need to talk to them every day. You need to guide them. You need to push them. You need to inspire them. Those are the things that will be preventing us from doing that right now. But thank you for always pushing us. I know you're going to ask for the same thing next week. I'm going to say the same thing next week too. Uh, Thank you, Ibrahim. I'm going to go back to the topic now. And just like you said, I honestly and fully agree to everything you said. Uh, Number one thing is to be able to listen when you want to solve people's problem. Because if you don't know what their problem is, how are you going to be able to solve it? So you need to be able to show. I was with my friend yesterday. He is my brother, but he's my friend now because a young guy that is doing big things is now my friend. Age is just a number. I don't care how old he is.
Yeah.
He's doing big things now. And we are talking about people that just want clients versus people that want relationship. You know, he is a photographer, a videographer, a podcaster. We did a podcast together yesterday. That one is coming out soon as well. And he mentioned that yesterday that he's tired of doing business. I sometimes that's what I always tell, that know when to shut up versus when to talk. I was listening to this young boy yesterday. He used to be a young boy, but now he's a man. He's a man. So I was talking to him and he was telling me his style of doing things. And I look at him and I'm like, you've grown a lot since we last met, and I'm really happy for you. He asked me why I come to Dallas. I said it's you. So really, one thing that I want I learned from our discussion is relationship supersede what I'm going to get from you right now. You just mention it, and that is why I'm going back to that is what remind me of that discussion really. If I had done something wrong with the past people that you refer to me, you wouldn't be thinking about me this time when another opportunity showed up. But because we build a relationship, then what follows relationship always trust. And when people trust you, they will just let you do your thing, and why they believe that you got it, you're gonna figure it out for me,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So it is really really important to build relationship when you are in business. And because of our time, I don't want to, but make sure you sit down with your client. Make sure you sit down with your client. Make sure you understand what their problem is. Make sure you understand what their pain is. And then you come up with a solution. Don't just sit down and physically or virtually and listen for like 15 minutes. Just let them talk.
Mhm.
And oh, that even if they say, okay, I want a house with basement. Oh, with basement, then they will say, okay, it is finished or not. Or if they don't mention it, you'll be like, okay, do you want you when you say basement, do you mean finished basement or unfinished basement? Now they know that okay, this guy heard me
Mhm.
and it's giving me types that I don't think about. Now they can go back and think about it, or they can be like, oh, I want a finished one or not. So, but if you don't listen to them, you cannot solve their problem the way they want it. You might end up solving it, blah blah blah, getting into the result, but the they want that will make them come back to you. That is how you want to solve it. So, as a real estate professional out there, make sure you take your time to know your client. Base do employ this strategy of relationship today and thank me later. I don't have any other thing. I think we don't have any other question as well. Ibrahim, any final word? If people want to reach out to you, how can they reach out to
Yes,
you?
it's the same. IB Realtors. Go to my DM, shoot me a direct message, give me a call 317-728-0213. You can message me on WhatsApp, anything concerning real estate. That's what I do. I am, like I mentioned, I'm a real estate broker and I'm also a managing broker. So anything concerning real estate, give me a shout out. Ahmed, how can they reach out?
You can reach me on my business line 317-689-7075. I'm always answering my phone myself. I'm always answering my text message. And if you are a social media person, ACO Property on TikTok, official Ahmed Lawal on the Instagram. Or if you find any of my video, just send me a message. I'm gonna send you my phone number. I just called it, but if you don't catch it, send me a message. I'm gonna send that to you. All right. Be by next week. We see you guys. Bye.
So, bye.